Today, after I dropped my daughter off at dance, I had an hour before meeting my riding group, Dirt City, at a place that was about a 10-minute drive away, 15-minute drive away. And so I used my GPS to find all the little free library boxes that weren't too far out of the way on the way there. I stopped at several. Most were not very good, but I tended to find about one book per box. Not everyone. I read Lagoon by Nnedi Okorafor, who was born in the United States to two Igbo Nigerian immigrant parents. She holds a PhD in English and is an associate professor of creative writing, teaching at the University of Buffalo. Lagoon was pretty good, though. This alien entity crashes into the ocean and influences and changes everything that comes near it, including in my favorite chapter of that book, A Swordfish. It was so cool. There's more vivid imagination in a page of Nnedi Okorafor's work than in whole volumes of ordinary fantasy epics, says Ursula K. Le Guin. Won the Hugo and the Nebula Award. I don't love this little tear down here. This is a slim little paperback novella. An institution of higher learning in the galaxy. It's called Binti. Also by Nnedi Okorafor, Who Fears Death, Kabu Kabu, Lagoon, the Book of Phoenix. And she wrote for younger readers. Writes, 2015. Well, something for the sci-fi section. This to me feels like the find of the day. An Italo Calvino I don't have. In the classical and large-sized paperback. The Watcher and Other Stories. The three long stories in this volume show the range and virtuosity of Italy's most imaginative writer. The Watcher, a member of the Communist Party, is assigned to a polling place in Turin's Hospital for Incurables, where he observes the rejects of the human race in a grotesque parody of the democratic process. Smog, written in 1958, anticipates a preoccupation with pollution so lunatic that it casts a pall even over the hero's affair with a beautiful woman. What? That sounds weird. Like it's bad to be preoccupied with pollution? Just embrace it. Breathe the poison. The Argentine Ant is a piece of sustained horror with farcical undertones illustrating a man's defeat before an enemy too small to be overcome. Gore Vidal said, if Argentine Ant is not a masterpiece of 20th century prose writing, I cannot think of anything better. Certainly it is this minatory and strange as anything by Kafka. It's also hideously funny. Minatory, I don't know that word. John Updike likes it too. Well, I wonder if it's any good. Is all his stuff good? I don't know. I think it's all been worthwhile, everything that I've read of his so far. This is a 1971 paperback. Look, everything was published in magazines first. Maybe The Watcher was just published in The Watcher, 1963. Smog, 1958. The Argentine Ant, 1952. That's weird to go back in time like that. Most recent, older. Oh, I'm glad to have it. This looks very interesting to me. It's on bark beetles. How human folly and a tiny bug are killing North America's great forests. Terrific book on a terrifying subject. Yeah, they really have done a number. You drive through any mountains in the West and you just see huge brown patches. They don't seem as bad in recent years, but there felt like many years where it was just something you saw everywhere. And they work in tandem with fire and they just kill whole areas. A friend of mine told me once that he knew somebody who was like studying how to use sound to stop them from eating the trees. That these beetles can literally hear the sound of dying trees, like weak trees. And that there's a difference in sound, like a different frequency. And that those are the trees they target. And so this inventor guy was setting up these little acoustic boxes everywhere, or like solar-powered boxes that set out a sound. They were powered, but then it was the opposite, the sound of a healthy tree, and it stopped the infestations, but they could never get funding for it. But I've always thought I needed to read more on this subject because it does get mentioned in my work once in a while. Just that tag wasn't on there. And the book feels a little lumpy. I don't know why. No, it's in all right shape. Glad to have this for its subject matter. That's an all right looking book in okay condition. I always like an anthology, and this one looked interesting. An anthology of contemporary Asian American fiction. Charlie Chan is dead. The first major anthology of Asian American fiction. 90s. But I'd enjoy this. And I might read it someday. I honestly don't know about this guy. I don't know anything about him. The name's kind of familiar. Jean Genet, The Selected Writings of Jean Genet. Edited him with an introduction by Edmund White. Sontag likes it. Sartre liked it. The Poet of Evil of Our Times, Cyril Connolly. Is that an endorsement? Jean Genet is a great poet. He is a moralist in the fullest sense of the word, but a moralist is not to be confused with the man who moralizes. Jean Cocteau. The tag is removable. See, it can be done, dumb stores. Honestly, I consider this a thoroughly mid book haul. Project 2025, the mandate for conservative leadership analyzed point by point. Understand the Heritage Foundation's agenda and its impact on America. Explained. There were a couple of these sorts of things in that box, and I took the one in best condition, looked the best. I mean, yeah, some crazy stuff's going on with the American government right now. It appears to be very orchestrated. I'd like to know a little more on it. To know the details of the world as it falls down around you, you know. Yeah, okay, book haul. The Netio Corafor. That might go to someone I know who liked Lagoon more than me. Nonfiction. Don't have Invisible Cities. That's crazy. If there's any Italo Calvino to have, it's probably Invisible Cities, really. But Marco Valdi is great. People seem to love If Anna Winter's Not a Traveler. I think it's all right. Certainly structurally innovative. It has a lot of cool ideas. Also got Italian folk tales in a different section, which he didn't really write, but I mean, he compiled it. I mean, he kind of did. But it's like a compilation of folk tales and fairy tales, many of which you can recognize must have originated in other sources. Yeah, I might not keep that one. I don't know who that guy is. Not that compelled by what I read. And just honestly, will I read it? Or we'll keep this though. Put that away later. Back to the Freebox with you. This has been a just okay Freebox pile. I did not mean to stay up this late. How did that happen? I have to get up for work in 5.5 hours. Ugh.